Hey everybody, Matt Post here with Sickle Bike Shop. So today I want to talk about this super fun topic of, hey, it's getting icy out, and you might have a bike that you either just bought or you've had for a while. Your tire might have holes in it. And you're like, what are those holes for? These are stud pockets. So this, if you have a tire like this without studs in it, and they've got these pockets, you can run studs. So today we're going to talk about how do you put studs in a tire like this if you want to do it yourself. First things first, you're going to need one, maybe two, maybe three of these. I promise, you'll thank me. So, first things first, you're going to want to get your wheel off of your bike. You're not going to want to do it on your bike, the thing's going to be rolling all over the place. You're going to want to have it off the bike, you're probably going to want to sit on the couch, you're probably going to want to have a show on. Because it's going to take a while, There are several hundred holes in here. You don't have to fill every one of them, but you're definitely going to want to pick some sort of a pattern, and it's going to take a while. Second thing you're going to need to do is pick out your stud. There's a couple different types of studs. 45 North has 3 different types. We've got 2 of them in here. These are both aluminums. We've got a super huge, this is the concave XL, and these are just the standard aluminum studs. They're both concave, so they'll self-sharpen, and they're a lot lighter than your classic steel stud. You're also going to need your stud tool, which looks like this. And this is just a stud insertion tool, so it's just help you shove them in. So before you get going on that, you're going to want to pick out your studs, make sure you count the number of holes, or just look up your tire and see how many holes, and then pick your pattern, get the amount of studs appropriate. So, but before you get started, if you've ridden your bike at all out in the dirt, these stud pockets have a high likelihood that they're going to pick up a rock. And so you're going to need to find a screwdriver or a pick and just go through and get those out of there. You're going to want to just make sure every hole that you find is clean and there's no debris in it before you get started. So that's the first step. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab your stud and your stud tool, and here's how these work. Got your stud like this. The stud tool goes right over the top of the stud like that, and then it's easiest to have it on the ground. Sometimes you want soap. If this is really hard, you can get a little soapy water in there, but really you're just going to put it in kind of at a 45-degree angle and just kind of work it down and in, give it a little twist, pull out. See, this one went in a little sideways, so I'm going to get back in there, straighten it out. There we go. So that's why it's really important to have these pockets all cleaned out. If this pocket's not cleaned out, you're going to have a heck of a time getting that stud in there. It's not going to sit in right. It's probably going to fall out. So the cleaner you can get all these stud pockets, the easier it's going to go. You do want your stud to be fully inserted, so you don't want the metal sticking out other than the stud. And just the stud sticking out just like that. You want it coming out nice and straight. Alright, so again, we're just going to pick a stud pocket. We're going to start it at a 45-degree angle, and you're just going to kind of work it into that hole. Twisting, maneuvering it about. You want to push it all the way down, make sure it's twisted, try and straighten it up as much as possible, and then pull straight out. Make sure you got it straight, make sure it's fully inserted, and you're good to go. So again, you're just going to repeat that process all the way around. I feel like, you know what, I don't really need to stud everything. Maybe you could pick a pattern where you run maybe 2 in these center sections, and then you for sure want to run some on the outside. So the furthest out ones, for sure, that's going to be probably your most important, because if you go around a corner with your bike, it leans over. If there's nothing grabbing it, that's when you slide out. That's when you crash really hard. So it's really important to make sure for sure you're going to want studs on the outside pockets. Not necessarily everyone, but you're going to want the majority of the outside pockets and maybe a few in the center. If you're going to selectively put some in, or just do the whole thing up, that's up to you. If all of this sounds really daunting and like your time's more valuable, we sell them pre-studded. So if you want, you can just pick these guys up. They are kind of expensive, so they're going to start around $168 for these 45 North ones. There are some from Terrain as well. There's a variety of different brands, different widths, different size studs, but this is going to be the most basic one. It's got the steel stud instead of the aluminum, and it's on there. This is the most affordable package that 45 North has for a pre-studded option. If you don't have a huge amount of time, go this route, and that way you have another set of tires in the summertime, because you won't want to run your studs in the summertime. That's just a waste. You're going to just wear these out. It's not going to be very fun. You can't really pull these out. Theoretically you could, but that's not worth your time. You're going to want, if you're going to have a set of studded tires, you're also going to ride in the summertime, just pick up a second set of tires. That's just going to be way more fun for you, and that's just going to be way more fun, I promise. So if you have any questions about that, that's how this whole system works. Again, the big thing is, just before you come in, if you do want to take this on yourself, count the number of studs you've got, look it up, something like that, and get the appropriate amount of studs. It's no fun to get 3/4 of the way around, run completely out of studs, and then have to figure it out from there. But it's not difficult, it's just time consuming. But it can save you some money for sure if you do it yourself. So thanks guys, appreciate it.